You ever notice how everyday life has turned into one long commercial break? Yeah, everything's a product now. You wake up in the morning, and before you even get out of bed, there's a commercial waiting for you. It's in your toothpaste, your coffee, your phone, even your alarm clock. You're not waking up to greet the day. You're waking up to be sold something. Good morning. Here's a reminder that you're not good enough without whitening strips. That's how we start the day, feeling inadequate but minty fresh. And isn't it funny how we've convinced ourselves that this is normal? We call it progress. We're so busy improving our lives that we forgot to live them. The modern motto should be, if it's not faster, newer, or more complicated, it's obsolete. You can't even enjoy a sandwich anymore without someone trying to improve it. Artisan bread, hand-massaged lettuce, what the hell is that? Somewhere there's a guy in an apron rubbing ramen for a living. That's not progress, that's salad foreplay. We've got gadgets for everything now. We can't open a can without electricity, can't boil water without instructions, can't make toast without a digital display that asks how crispy we want our bread. We used to have to check our toast to see if it was done. Now our toaster asks for feedback like a therapist. Are you satisfied with your breakfast experience? No, but thanks for asking, toaster. Maybe next time you'll burn it evenly, and then there's coffee. Oh, coffee used to be simple. You boiled some water, threw in some grounds, and hoped for the best. Now it's an art form. People talk about coffee like it's a fine wine. This one has notes of oak, caramel, and regret. What happened to it wakes me up and keeps me from punching people before 9 a.m. I miss that kind of honesty. Now you can't even order coffee without feeling like you're doing your taxes. I'll have a triple half, calf soy mocha with extra foam and emotional support. Everything's become an experience. You can't just buy a muffin. You have to have a freshly baked artisanal moment. What does that even mean? It's a muffin. Eat it and move on with your life. But no, we photograph it, filter it, post it, and then watch strangers validate our breakfast. We don't eat food anymore. We document it like it's an endangered species. Here we have the rare avocado toast in its natural habitat, a reclaimed wood table. And have you noticed how the more conveniences we get, the less convenient life becomes? We've got machines that save time, but somehow we've got less time than ever. We used to spend 20 minutes washing dishes. Now we spend 40 minutes figuring out why the dishwasher won't start. Progress. Even relaxation has turned into a chore. You can't just take a nap. You need the right playlist, the right scented candle, and an app to track your sleep cycles. You were in REM sleep for 14 minutes. Oh, good. I'll put that on my resume. Highly experienced in unconsciousness. It's all so ordinary, and yet we treat it like a crisis. People get genuinely upset when the Wi-Fi goes down. The Wi-Fi, that's not even a real thing. It's invisible magic that lets you send cat pictures around the world. But if it drops for 5 minutes, we act like civilization has collapsed. No internet, what will we do? Talk to each other? God forbid. And traffic. Oh, traffic is where humanity really shows off its genius. We invented machines that can travel hundreds of miles an hour, and we use them to move 3 feet in 10 minutes. That's not transportation, that's self-torture. You ever look around in traffic and realize everyone's angry at everyone else for being there? Like we all think we are the only ones who belong on the road. Where are all these other people going? Probably the same place as you, genius. Nowhere. Then there's shopping. Shopping used to mean you needed something. You went to a store, got it, and left. Now shopping is a hobby, a sport, a weekend getaway, retail therapy, they call it, because nothing cures the pain of existence like buying a scented candle shaped like a pineapple. And it's always on sale, buy one, get one free. You didn't even want one, but now you've got two. You've doubled your problem and called it a bargain, and don't get me started on packaging. You buy a USB cable, and it's sealed inside 3 layers of plastic stronger than the hull of a submarine. You need a chainsaw to open it, and by the time you finally do, you're bleeding from both thumbs and questioning your life choices. The packaging outlives the product. Somewhere in a landfill, there's a plastic shell thinking, that guy's gone, but I'm still here. We love packaging more than we love the stuff inside. Ever notice how everything says new and improved? They slap that on a bottle of water. How do you improve water? What they do? Add a plot twist. Now, with fewer molecules of disappointment, the funniest part is how we think we're smart because of all this. We brag about our gadgets like they're IQ points. I've got the latest phone. It recognizes my face. Great. Can it recognize your personality? Can it find your dignity? Because I think you lost that somewhere between the App Store and the selfie camera. We spend $1,000 to have the privilege of being annoyed faster. You know what else we've managed to complicate? Sitting still. You used to just sit. Now it's mindfulness. You have to practice doing nothing. I'm taking a class on how to breathe. Really, I've been doing it for years. Never once paid tuition. We can't even watch TV without stress. There are too many choices, hundreds of channels, and somehow nothing to watch. You scroll for an hour, give up, and end up watching a documentary about spoons. And it's never just one episode, it's a 10-part saga. Episode 7, The Rise of the Soup Spoon. At this point, the spoon has a better backstory than most politicians. And speaking of screens, people can't live without him. You see folks walking down the street, heads buried in their phones, bumping into poles, dogs, other people. We've become a species of distracted zombies. You don't need brains anymore, just battery life. And we're so proud of it. I multitask. No, you fail. You're doing 5 things badly instead of 1 thing well. Even conversations aren't real anymore. People don't talk, they text. You can be sitting across from someone and they'll text you, hey, hey. You're right there. Open your mouth, make a sound, it's free, and emojis. Don't even get me started. We replaced language with cartoons. I'm happy, I'm sad. We're living in a world where adults communicate like cave painters with better lighting. We used to write letters, remember letters. You'd take the time to think, to choose your words, to maybe even rewrite a sentence if it didn't sound right. Now, if you take more than 10 seconds to reply, people think you've died. Why didn't you text me back? Because I was doing something that didn't involve you. You ever notice how every device in your house now wants to talk to you? I'm your refrigerator. I see you're out of milk. Thanks, fridge. Next thing you know, the toaster's offering life advice. You seem stressed. Have you tried rye bread? I miss the days when my appliances were silent servants, not needy roommates, and the self-checkout lanes. Don't get me wrong, they're convenient, but somehow they always turn into a moral test. Unexpected item in bagging area. Yeah, it's called groceries, genius. And when you call for help, the cashier looks at you like you messed up. Sir, did you scan it properly? I don't know. I'm not an employee here. I didn't go to cashier school. I came to buy toothpaste, not intern at the store. Even money doesn't feel real anymore. We swipe, tap, wave, poof, it's gone. There's no pain in spending when you never see the money. Back in the day, you'd hand over cash and you'd feel it. There goes my lunch money, my bus fare, my soul. Now you wave a piece of plastic and it's like magic until the bill shows up. Then the magic's gone. And speaking of bills, every bill now comes with a convenience fee. A convenience fee, it's not convenient for me. It's convenient for you. It's like paying extra for the privilege of being robbed politely. We're surrounded by nonsense, but we've gotten so used to it that it feels normal. That's the real joke. We spend our lives chasing things that don't matter and ignoring the stuff that does. We say we're connected, but we can't even remember our neighbor's name. We say we're efficient, but we can't find our keys. We say we're happy, but we're all secretly one bad Wi-Fi signal away from a meltdown. It's the funny side of modern life, because it's the only way to survive it. You either laugh or you lose your mind. You laugh at the endless upgrades, the pointless gadgets, the apps that track your mood, the smart fridges, the digital toasters, the coffee with a personality disorder, because if you don't laugh, you'll start crying into your gluten-free muffin, wondering what happened to simplicity. And you know, maybe that's the point. Maybe the joke's on us. We invented all this stuff to make life easier, but all it did was make it louder. The noise never stops. Notifications, updates, alerts, reminders. It's like living in a casino where your phone is the slot machine and the jackpot is attention. But here's the beautiful part. In all that chaos, the humor's still there. It's hiding in the ordinary. It's in the way people argue over parking spaces like it's a land dispute. It's in the way we say "have a nice day" to someone we just cut off in traffic. It's in the way we talk about saving time while spending half an hour looking for the remote. The absurdity of it all is what makes it worth watching, because at the end of the day, life isn't supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be weird, inconvenient, and just a little bit stupid. And if you can laugh at it, really laugh at it, you've already won. So keep your gadgets, keep your apps, keep your perfectly brewed foam, swirled ethically sourced coffee. I'll take a quiet morning, a strong cup of something that tastes like life, and a good laugh about the absurd circus we call civilization. That's enough progress for me. You ever notice how modern life is built entirely out of contradictions? The whole thing's one big, beautiful paradox that keeps on spinning while we pretend it makes sense. We've got smarter machines and dumber people, faster communication and slower thinking, more choices and less satisfaction. We've built an entire civilization out of opposites and called it progress. We say we're saving time with all these gadgets and apps, but where exactly is all that time we're saving? Has anyone seen it? Is there a vault somewhere full of all the time we supposedly saved? Because I'd like to make a withdrawal. Every time someone says, "this'll save you time," it just means you're gonna waste it doing something even more useless later. We live in the age of convenience, but everything feels like a hassle. Everything. You go to the airport that's supposed to be a marvel of human engineering, right? You fly through the air like a bird, faster than any human in history ever dreamed of moving, and you spend the entire time miserable? Security lines, shoes off, belts off, laptops out, liquids in tiny bottles. You're stripped, scanned, and shuffled through like a pack of nervous cattle. Then you finally sit down, and someone's kid behind you spends the next 3 hours kicking your seat. And that's what we call getting away from it all. We have more food than ever, but we're terrified to eat any of it. Every week a new food is trying to kill us. Butter's bad. No, wait, butter's good. Coffee will shorten your life. Actually, coffee's full of antioxidants. Eggs are dangerous. Eggs are back. We've got people reading labels like they're decoding the Dead Sea Scrolls. Let's see, this one's organic, gluten-free, locally sourced, and cruelty-free. Yeah, but it tastes like sadness and regret. We're surrounded by information, but we can't find the truth. Every fact has two versions, and they both cancel each other out. We've got news channels arguing over reality like it's a board game. My reality says this. Well, my reality says that. It's not news anymore. It's a food fight with microphones. The more we know, the less we understand, because we're too busy defending our own version of the facts. We say we love individuality, but everybody's trying to be the same kind of different. You walk down the street and every person is trying to express themselves in the exact same way. Tattoos, piercings, hairstyles, fashion trends, all sold to you by a company that says, be unique just like everyone else. It's individuality in bulk. Even rebellion comes with a receipt. We've got people who say they're nonconformists but get angry if you don't conform to their version of nonconformity. You don't recycle, what's wrong with you? You still use a gas stove, how dare you? It's a competition to see who can care the most, and nobody wins, because caring too much has turned into its own brand of madness, and it's not just people, companies are in on it, too. Every ad tells you how much they care. Fast food joints talking about fresh, healthy choices. Insurance companies telling you they understand. Airlines promising comfort. Yeah, comfort right after they wedge you into a seat designed by a sadist. You ever try to open a tray table without performing advanced yoga? The only thing comfortable on a plane is the guy in first class, and he's not even watching the safety demo because he knows he's already safe from the rest of us. We say we're connected, but we've never been more alone. We can reach anyone, anywhere, anytime, and yet half the time, nobody's really listening. We're surrounded by people, but we're all too busy looking at our screens. You could fall into a manhole on a busy street, and the guy next to you would just film it. Look, a guy fell in, #gravity. The connection's there, it's just not human. We live in houses bigger than ever, filled with stuff we don't use, bought with money we don't have, to impress people we don't like. And the more we get, the more we want. It's a treadmill of desire, always moving, never arriving. We think success is having more, but all we're collecting are future yard sale items. You ever drive through a neighborhood where every garage is stuffed with things no one remembers buying? That's the museum of human contradiction. Here we have the exercise bike from 1998, used twice, now holding laundry. We talk about freedom like it's the ultimate goal, but the more freedom we get, the more rules we make. Everything comes with fine print now. You can't even buy a flashlight without agreeing to 30 pages of terms and conditions. Freedom used to mean you could do what you wanted. Now it means you can do what you want as long as you click "I agree" first. We say we value privacy, but we live like exhibitionists. We post every detail of our lives for strangers to judge. Here's my lunch, here's my vacation, here's my new haircut. We voluntarily give away the stuff we used to guard with our lives, and then we complain that nobody respects privacy anymore. Of course not. You gave it away for free Wi-Fi and a couple of thumbs-up emojis. We're obsessed with health, but we're stressed all the time. We buy vitamins, supplements, organic smoothies, and yoga mats, and then we panic about not doing enough self-care. You've got people meditating while checking their pulse. Am I relaxed yet? The pursuit of peace has become a competition, and if you're not zen enough, they'll sell you a book about how to fake it. We say we want honesty, but we can't handle it. We beg people to be real, and then when they are, we call them rude. We don't want the truth, we want it wrapped with positive language and gentle lighting. Tell me the truth, but make it sound nice. We've turned sincerity into a marketing skill. People don't say what they mean anymore, they say what tests well. And let's talk about love. Oh, that's a big one. Everyone says they're looking for true love, but most of the time they just want someone who looks good in pictures and laughs at the right parts. We've turned romance into a checklist. Must be tall, ambitious, emotionally available, financially stable, and own a reliable vehicle. Love used to be a leap of faith. Now it's a background check. Even families are walking contradictions. Parents say they want their kids to be independent, but they track their every move. Go out and live your life. Just text me every 10 minutes so I know you're alive. Then, when the kid actually does grow up and move out, the parents get sad. You never call anymore. Well, you told me to go live my life. Make up your mind. Do you want me to be free or available for dinner? We say we want peace and quiet, but we fill every moment with noise. The TV on, the radio's on, the phone's buzzing, the washing machine's singing, the microwave's beeping. It's a symphony of nonsense. Silence makes people nervous. You ever notice that? You sit in a quiet room and within seconds someone says, "This is awkward." No, it's peaceful. You just forgot what peace sounds like, and all this is wrapped up in one big contradiction. We want life to be simple, but we're addicted to complexity. We can't stop complicating things. We make schedules for our leisure time, spreadsheets for our vacations, and lists for our relaxation. Saturday, 10 a.m. meditate, 11 a.m. yoga, 12 p.m. stress about productivity. We've industrialized calmness. We even invented multitasking, like it's some kind of skill. No, it's just doing several things poorly at once. You can't be present and distracted at the same time, but we try. People drive, eat, text, and have conversations simultaneously, and then wonder why they're exhausted, because you're living 4 lives at once, and none of them are any good. And isn't it funny how every generation thinks it's the smart one? The people who grew up with the radio thought TV was rotting minds. The TV kids thought rock music was destroying civilization. Then came the video game crowd, the internet crowd, the cell phone crowd, and every time the new generation says, we're more advanced. Yeah, but are we happier? Are we kinder? Are we even paying attention? The tools change, but the foolishness stays the same. We just upgrade it. We've got people fighting over whose beliefs are right, but nobody stops to wonder if belief itself might be the problem. We cling to ideas like life rafts, even when they're sinking. We say we're open-minded, but the minute someone disagrees, we slam the door. I'm open-minded as long as you agree with me. That's not openness, that's decoration, and it's everywhere from politics to parking lots. You ever see someone steal a parking spot and then go into church, praise the Lord? Yeah, praise him for that sweet parking job, huh? We live in a society where people pray for patience and then honk if the light takes too long. Contradictions everywhere, even language is a mess. We say one thing and mean another. I'll be right back. No, you won't. Let's do lunch. Never happening. It's not about the money. It's always about the money. We've built an entire culture on polite dishonesty, and we call it good manners. And the economy, oh, that's a gold mine of contradictions. We're told to spend to save, to invest in stability, to buy now, pay later. That's like saying, eat more to lose weight. The whole thing's a riddle wrapped in a credit card statement. We call it consumer confidence, but the only ones confident are the people selling us stuff. We even contradict ourselves about the planet. We say we love nature as long as it doesn't inconvenience us. I love the forest. Yeah, until it blocks your view. Save the earth. Sure, but turn the air conditioning up first. We talk about going green, but we're really just going shopping in a different color. The beauty of it all is that we keep pretending this makes sense. We live with these contradictions like it's perfectly normal. We don't even question them anymore. In fact, we defend them. We say, that's just how the world works. No, that's how we've chosen to make it work badly. But the good news is, once you start noticing the contradictions, they become hilarious. Life turns into one big cosmic joke and you're in on it. You start seeing it everywhere in the slogans, the ads, the conversations, the politics, the personal goals, the philosophies. It's all one giant balancing act between what we say and what we actually do. And once you start laughing at that, you stop being angry about it, because laughter is the only sane reaction to insanity that's been normalized. So yeah, we're a species that builds rockets to the moon and can't figure out how to get along in traffic. We invent cures for diseases and then poison ourselves with stress. We talk about love while practicing judgment. We dream of peace while designing better ways to argue. We're walking contradictions, every one of us, and that's okay. Because if there's one thing that makes life worth living, it's that wonderful, absurd, perfectly human contradiction that somehow, through all the confusion, we still keep going, still keep laughing, still keep trying to make sense of the nonsense. You ever notice how people say laughter is the best medicine? Yeah, well, if that's true, the world's been running a fever for decades. We're surrounded by nonsense, absolute, industrial, strength nonsense, and nobody wants to say it out loud. But the minute you laugh at it, suddenly it all makes sense. That's what laughter does. It turns the garbage of life into something you can live with. You don't fix the world with laughter, but you sure make it more entertaining while it falls apart. Truth used to be something we respected. People used to chase it, argue about it, write books about it. Now it's like the truth is a guest who's late to dinner. Everybody talks about it, but no one's actually seen it in years. And when it does show up, we don't want to hear it. SHH, don't say that. It's too harsh, it's too real, it's not nice. Well, that's the whole point. The truth isn't supposed to be nice, it's supposed to be true. You ever tell somebody the truth, and they look at you like you've just insulted their pet? Hey, I'm just being honest. Yeah, well, you didn't have to say it like that. Oh, I'm sorry, would you prefer it wrapped in fairy dust and denial? People say they want honesty, but what they really want is polite fiction. Tell me the truth, but make it sound like I'm still perfect. Laughter, though laughter doesn't care about politeness. It just barges in, knocks over the fancy words, and points right at the thing everyone's pretending not to see. Laughter is the sound truth makes when it finally gets tired of being ignored. It's the universe saying, "See, I told you this was ridiculous." You can always tell what a society's afraid of by what it refuses to joke about. There's your thermometer right there. When people stop laughing about something, that means they've gotten too scared of it to face it. Humor is courage with a smile. You don't have to fight anything, you just laugh at it, and suddenly it loses its power. People get scared of jokes because jokes expose the cracks in the system. A good laugh doesn't just make noise, it reveals something. Every time you laugh at something stupid in the world, you're saying, "Hey, I see it. I'm not fooled." That's why laughter makes people uncomfortable, because it's honest. You can't fake a real laugh. You can fake a smile, fake a compliment, fake your job skills on a resume, but a real laugh is pure truth. We live in an age where everyone's supposed to go along to get along. Don't make waves, don't rock the boat, keep things smooth. Smooth, the world's on fire and we're worried about being smooth. People think if they don't talk about problems, they'll disappear like the world's a magic trick. Don't mention it, maybe it'll go away. Yeah, that's been working great so far. Humor, though humor shines a flashlight right on the mess. It says, "Look at this, look how dumb this is." And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's what truth does once it hits your brain, it doesn't leave. You can deny it, cover it, ignore it, but it's still sitting there, arms crossed, tapping its foot, waiting for you to catch up. You ever notice that the people who say you shouldn't joke about that are usually the ones who need to hear the joke the most? Because deep down they know it's true. That's why they're mad. Nobody ever got offended by a lie. Lies are comfortable. It's the truth that stings. We've gotten so serious about everything that we've forgotten how to laugh at ourselves. Everyone's walking around acting like they're auditioning for sainthood. "I'm a good person. I care about the world." Sure you do, as long as there's why, fi, and someone watching. Nobody wants to admit they're a little selfish, a little hypocritical, a little full of it, even though we all are. That's what makes us funny. That's what makes us human. If you can't laugh at yourself, you're missing the best material in the room. You ever catch yourself doing something totally stupid and realize, oh man, I'm part of the problem? That's a great moment because it's honest. It's like the universe handing you a backstage pass to your own absurdity. The best jokes are never about other people. They're about all of us pretending we're not ridiculous. We've turned truth into a PR campaign. Every idea has a slogan. Every problem has a spin. Every issue has a logo. We don't solve things anymore, we brand them. Let's raise awareness. Great, now everyone's aware, and nothing's changed. But we feel better because we had a slogan. That's what laughter cuts through. Laughter doesn't care about slogans, it goes straight to the part that doesn't make sense. Think about politics, not any specific ones, just the idea of it. You've got two sides arguing about who's right, and both sides keep making speeches about the people. And the people keep getting poorer, busier, and more confused, but the speeches keep coming. If you don't laugh at that, you'll end up crying into your tax forms. Laughter is your last line of defense against pretending the nonsense is normal. You can't even say common sense anymore without it sounding like an antique. Common sense is like an old relative nobody visits. We all know it exists, but nobody listens to it. Laughter, though laughter keeps common sense alive. It reminds us that life's not supposed to be this complicated. You see the absurdity, you laugh, and suddenly you're sane again. You ever wonder why kids laugh more than adults? Because kids still tell the truth. They haven't learned how to pretend yet. A kid will walk up to you and say, "You look tired," and you are. They'll say, "You have a big nose," and you do. They haven't learned the social art of lying politely. That's why they laugh. They're not carrying around a bag of nonsense yet. Adults lose that. We replace honesty with etiquette and wonder why life gets dull. And you notice the older people get, the less they laugh, not because life's less funny, it's because they've spent too many years pretending it isn't. The longer you live, the more absurd it all looks, and the harder it is to admit it. That's why when you see an old guy laughing in public for no reason, he's not crazy, he's enlightened. He's figured it out. There's something sacred about being able to laugh at the truth. It's like emotional recycling. You take all the junk the world throws at you, the stress, the rules, the hypocrisy, and you process it through humor. Out the other side comes a laugh, and suddenly you're lighter. The truth didn't change, but your relationship to it did. You made peace with it by making fun of it. That's what laughter is, its emotional judo. You use the weight of the absurdity against itself. We're told to stay positive all the time, like that's a commandment. Think positive, yeah, but sometimes life's not positive. Sometimes it's stupid, boring, unfair, and confusing. You can't think your way out of that, but you can laugh at it. Laughter is honesty with good timing. It's looking at life and saying, yeah, this is ridiculous, but I'm still here. The reason laughter's dangerous is because it frees people. Once you laugh at something, it stops controlling you. That's why tyrants hate jokes and bosses hate sarcasm. Humor is the great equalizer. It puts everyone on the same level. You can't be intimidated by something you're laughing at. You can't be manipulated by something you find funny. Laughter breaks the spell. We spend so much time pretending we've got it all figured out. We act like life's a big puzzle we're all close to solving. But every time we think we're getting somewhere, life changes the picture on the box. Laughter reminds us that we're not supposed to figure it all out. We're supposed to notice how weird it is and enjoy the ride. The truth, when you strip it down, is rarely beautiful. It's messy, inconvenient, sometimes embarrassing. But it's also hilarious, because underneath all the seriousness, we're just hairless apes running around, inventing complicated ways to be unhappy. We make rules for ourselves, break them immediately, and then make new rules about breaking the old ones. You can't write better comedy than that. We say we're advanced, but we still trip over the same stuff our ancestors did: greed, ego, fear, vanity. We just gave them fancier names, and every time someone points it out, someone else gets offended. Hey, don't say that. That's not nice. Well, neither is reality, but we still have to live in it. Might as well laugh while we're here. You ever notice how laughter happens without permission? It just explodes out of you. You can hold in your opinions, your anger, your tears, but not a real laugh. A real laugh breaks through everything. That's why it's honest. It's your soul saying, yes, that's true, and it's ridiculous. You can learn a lot from what makes you laugh. The things you laugh hardest at are usually the things that hit closest to home. When you laugh at something uncomfortable, that's not just comedy, that's revelation. You're realizing something about yourself, about the world, about the stupid dance we're all doing to look like we know what we're doing, and let's face it, we're all just improvising. Nobody really knows how to live. We're making it up as we go, pretending the instructions are clear. But the universe never gave us a manual, it gave us irony, and irony's the only user guide you'll ever need. Because the second you can laugh at the absurdity, you're doing just fine. We build religions, governments, corporations, philosophies, all to explain life. But the truth is, life doesn't need explaining. It's not a riddle to solve, it's a joke to get. And when you get it, when you finally see the humor in the chaos, that's when you're free. You stop expecting the world to make sense, and you start enjoying how weird it is. You stop fighting the contradictions, and you start playing with them. You realize that laughter isn't just medicine, it's truth in disguise. It sneaks past your defenses, slips into your brain, and plants the seed of understanding. Because the moment you laugh at something, you own it. You rise above it. You're not the victim of it anymore, you're the audience. And that's the best seat in the house. So the next time the world feels too heavy, too confusing, too serious, don't search for meaning. Don't search for order. Just look for the joke. It's always there, hiding somewhere in the middle of the madness, waiting for you to notice it. And when you do laugh,